Magic, trusted by nail experts.
Hi, my name is Lilia Saxon and I'm a chief educator at Magic Gel System. Today we will be doing a nice, beautiful feminine stiletto design with bright colors, and we will be using gels from Bloomin' Magic Design Kit. Many of you will say that stiletto is not exactly a salon shape or salon length. Of course, this is true. So that's why the kit also comes with 2 additional design tutorials. The first one is Spring Mood, and there we will do a nice combination of French and full color nails. And the second design is called Strawberry Lollipop. It's more playful, sparkly design for even shortest nails possible. And of course, those salon designs will be made from the same gels from Bloomin' Magic Design Kit. So let's start the stiletto tutorial. Here we are. So my nail is also prepped. I've removed the cuticle. You can see it's nice and clean in here, and the nail plate is ready for the gel to be applied. Now we need to apply the form on, so let's see how to do it. I am using my favorite acidic primer, and I'm just tapping here and there, see? And it just starts to spread. And then there is no gel on the very free edge, so I'm gonna go and cover it too. Now I have to wait until the nail plate becomes chalky white, and then we will continue with the base gel application. How the nail plate looks dry right now, so it's time for me to apply the Flawless Bond base. I'm going to pick up a scoop of gel, and make sure when you pick up your gel you just go and lift your brush like I just did. So, and if you need to leave extra gel in the jar, just wipe inside of it to make sure the jars don't leak, because these gels are self-leveling and very soft, so you don't want to work messy, right? So I picked up a good amount of gel, and I'm gonna go and apply it on the whole nail, because normally when I do a full set it's a natural nail only, but here we left some gel. We need to rub it in, press on the brush a little bit to make sure we get a good amount of gel in those kind of scratches on the nail plate. And now I'm gonna go and cure that for 2 minutes in a UV lamp, 36 watts. If you have a 27 watt lamp, then you need to cure that for 3 minutes, because it doesn't have enough output to cure the gel well. Okay? And obviously, if you have your quality LED lamp, it's only 30-second cure. Now I'm going to extend the nail with diamond fiber gel. This is the strongest gel ever created. And same thing, I'm picking up my bead like so, just lifting my brush and putting it in here, going all the way to the very tip, like this, and connecting with the nail. Making sure that I build my sides nice and straight right away, see? So we don't have to file too much after. And because we're going to do an embedded design, make sure it's thin. I flash cured the first layer, and I'm still not going to remove my form, just in case if I missed any of the sides or corners somewhere, so I can still build it up. And let's begin the fun part, the design. So I'm going to use two beautiful pastel colors, and I'm gonna start with the pastel buttercup first, and it's gonna go on the very tip really nicely. Soft butter texture gel, one layer like this, and we'll fade it up. And I'm gonna do it by using my ombre brush. I'm gonna do it almost like sideways. See? After that, I'm gonna check the sides, nice, and flash cure this color first before I'm gonna apply a second color. Next color to use is the pastel lollipop pink. This is a pastel pink color that's really pretty, like this, see? So I'm gonna apply it right when my first color ended, right? Not lower, because I'm gonna fade it down as well. I'm gonna go lower with this color on the left side and a little higher on the right side, because remember, it goes diagonally. And same thing, cover the sides. What I mean is that with your color, you repeat the first layer of the diamond fiber gel. Now fade it down. And fade up the top part as well. Then I will flush cure this one, and I'm not really spending too much time on fading it up nicely, because I'm gonna apply glitter in there and it's gonna make it soft. So basically, if I know that, for example, this part is not going to be visible in the finished look, I'm not gonna spend too much time making it perfect. So I'm gonna go flash cure and then come back and show you the next step. I have my beautiful transition of colors in here, and that looks peach, one of the most beautiful colors. And now I'm gonna go with the hot pink glitter and apply it in here, exactly where my pastel pink finished, and do the same thing, fade down and fade up. You can use this brush to fade sparkles down, just go sideways, or you can go with the ombre brush as well. Like this. A little more in here, because I want to have more color. So we can play with the intensity of the colors here, just because it's an embedded design. However, be very careful with color gels. You cannot apply them too thick, otherwise they will not cure. And let me show you fading up with this brush. It's more soft when you use this brush, see? A little more in here. So it really depends on what brush you prefer to use. And flash cure on this step as well. Okay, all done with the background, and let's remove the form. First, I'm gonna pinch it under the nail to make sure that it doesn't get stuck, so you break the nail when you remove it. And then I'm just gonna go down, remove it, and open it like this. So let's build the nail itself. So that's what I have so far, and this is quite thin, right? So we cannot wear stilettos just like that thing. So we need to reinforce the nail by building a proper structure and by using the fiber reinforced gel. So the stress zone is going to be here. This is the thickest, highest part of the nail, and then it goes down slowly to nothing. After building the nail, I will flash cure that for about 10-12 seconds and pinch it. I'm gonna show you how I do it as well. So picking up a bit, remember how? Rolling the brush a little bit, going up and down, there. And sculpting. Placing in the center first, where my stress zone has to be. Going up, holding my brush 45 degrees to make sure it's not too thick near the skin. Going up, 45-degree angle, not too close to the skin because the gel will self-level a bit in there. We don't want to have it too thick in there. So that, and now going down in the center first and then on the sides. We will be able to add more gel once we need. Just need to build the stress zone and cover the design first. Like that. Flash cure and pinch. I put my pinch and clamp on after 12 seconds. There you go. The gel is still flexible. All right, and then once I've done it, see how straight it should be? And then once I've done it, I'm gonna go and cure that for 2 minutes completely so that my pinch holds. There, this is my beautiful C-curve. See? And if it hurts, you're pinching too much. Mine doesn't. Looks like there's pressure in here, obviously, but it's not uncomfortable. So it's completely fine. Just make sure you don't hurt yourself or your client doing this. Okay, full cure. Now I've removed the pinch and clip and look how beautiful it looks. And now what I have to do is just add the gel that's missing here and cover the sides a little bit. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Same diamond fiber, just don't put a lot of gel in there because this step is already more like cosmetic rather than, you know, strength related. And again, put it in the center, going on the sides, and up a little more, covering here. And I need to cover the sides well to make sure I can file a nice shape without any dents and imperfections. And a little more. Okay, now I have a straight line, so I can go and cure that again. Okay, the side walls in here are done. See, because we pinched the nail, it's beautiful. It's nice and straight in here. Parallel sides up to here. So for the stiletto, now what we need to do, we need to shape this and that side. Okay, it's a little thicker on that side in my case, so I will have to put my file this way and basically file this side. Tilt a little bit as well. What you have to pay attention to in here is that you're connecting part A and part B. You're not thinning down this place anymore. We've done it. We've done it when we did the sidewall. So now it's basically only working from here till there. Like so, see? See how my file goes and doesn't even touch anything in here? So that's what I'm gonna go and do on one side and on the second side and show you the result. And another thing, I'm using 100 by 100 grit file just because it's a long nail and it makes sense to do everything faster, right? So this is 100 by 100. You could use 150 as well, it's gonna do the work, but at the same time pay attention to what material it's made from, because some of the files are better quality and they will last you longer. The grit will not fall out too quickly. And some files, even though it's 100 grit, is going to be kind of softer and the grit will start to kind of be shaved sooner. So if your file doesn't do anything, so you have to apply a lot of pressure, it means that you need a new file, okay? So my nail is nice and pointy now, and you clearly see on the white background how straight the sides are, right? These two. So now the next step is to fix this part. So what I need to do, I need to basically not overfile in here, okay? Because this is the most common mistake that people do in long nails. They want to bring this side too high. What happens is your nail has to go here, right? Because this is how it grows, but then it starts, the free edge starts somewhere here, right? Much higher, and the nail breaks. So look from the side, and again, the finger is your middle line, and this is how the nail should basically go. So put on it straight and filing. Nice and straight. I still have to finish it a little cleaner in here, but I'm gonna do it with the vacuum, and I have to do the same thing on the other side in here. All right, and then I'll come back. What I will have to make sure is that this side and that side are on the same level. Basically, if I were to put a file like this, you see how the right side is still a little lower? That's okay because I didn't file it yet. But never file this way a long nail, because you'll just make cuts in here on this side. It's not gonna be straight. Okay, so I'm gonna go and finish it. Okay, this part is done. Nice and straight on the other side. And what I need to do now is the following. I need to blend it in with the skin. So I could use 100 by 100 grit. If my skin is sensitive, I'm gonna use 150 or 180. So an old file of mine, 100 by 100, still has a lot of grit, but it's going to be softer. So I'm gonna put my file in the center, and curving the file, I'm gonna go to the side, basically like that. And this is the part you should be working on, this wide, okay? This much. If you are just looking at your basically white dust in here and you see that it's just a little bit in here, first of all, doesn't do much. Second, it means that your angle, right, is too open. You have to put your file a little more flat. And on the other side, if you see that you're doing it somewhere here, it means it's too flat and far from the skin. So just get that proper angle so you get the area that you need. I'm gonna go and finish this one, and then we will continue with the surface with perfect blending in. See, what you want to have is to make sure that there's no bumps and the gel blends in really nicely, and there is no basically visual line between the gel and natural nail. And you have to pay attention to your file when you do such kind of work around the skin and on the surface that we're gonna do now. Basically, you see, it should be quite rounded, which means that no flat spots. So once you hold your file, you need to go like this. Instead of flat spots here and there, you start and you go this way, curving your file, right? Because the nail is not flat. This way you will have a very, very nice surface. And once you remember to do it, make sure your elbow goes up. If you follow my hand just in the camera, you can imagine that my elbow is going up now, right? So this is important. Pay attention to the elbow. If your elbow goes up right now at this point, it means that you're doing it properly. Okay, now let's finish the surface. So I will have to do the left side first and then the right side first, or right and then left, but not like everything together, right? So same idea, starting in the center, curving the file, and slowly go into the very tip. See what I'm doing? Blending in. And I rarely use electric file for really long nails like stilettos, because it's easier to work with such a surface rather than just, you know, a sanding band which has a smaller surface. And keep doing this, and keep doing the same thing on the right side. I'm also keeping my file very light in my hand, so I'm not pressing, right? So I would like to go and do this part, and then we will do the final shaping. I finished the surface, and this is what I have so far. And I have a one tiny, you know, low spot in here. I'm not paying attention to that because a quality top gel will take care of that. It's gonna fill it in. So by final shaping, I mean the following. I'm gonna put my file this way. Basically, well, it's kinda already straight, but to make sure that it's perfect, I'm gonna go up and down, left to right. Basically, when you look like that, this is how you put your file. Go up and down and move into the left. This way we make sure that we have a nice straight line in here. And when we hold the file like this rather than that, we know that we're not gonna damage the stress zone we created, and we're not gonna remove too much of the tip. This is one of the techniques I learned when I was competing, so this is the best way to do it, and that's what I teach my students. You have more control. So the only thing we need to do right now is to use a buffer. This is about 100 grit buffer on one side and about probably 80 on the other side. So what it does is going to remove all the scratches that we have in here from 100 by 100 grit file. And this is very important to use, because if we are going to do any kind of painting on top, we have to have a really good and smooth surface. So that's why I'm gonna use the buffer. And I'm gonna go from the eponychium zone to the free edge, and then this way repeating the strokes that we did with the file, and then that way. I might go, no, actually I'm not gonna do anything. It's not sharp or anything. It's absolutely nice and soft. So I'm not gonna touch underneath unless I have to. Sometimes I'm gonna go like this. Or on short salon nails, I'm gonna do that too. Okay, so I'm gonna go and do the buffer, and then we'll continue with the design. Very pretty, very smooth after my buffer, right? And then how pretty is that underneath, huh? With that beautiful ombre. Let's finish the design. I'm gonna start with yellow gold, a beautiful metallic gold color, and let's do the following. And now I'm gonna start with my beautiful real gold color, and I'm gonna create a nice gold line. I don't want to cover my ombre effect, so I'm just gonna go in here a little more, because I'm gonna go up as well, and just continue my beautiful line to a point in here like that, and that's what I need to have. So I'm gonna blend in this one a little so it's just more smooth, and make a pretty finish here. A little extension, see? Looks cute. Now flash cure this. After flash curing, I'm ready to apply the brightening top gel and continue with textured look. So picking up the gel, and again, see, lift, no mess, and going on the whole nail first, just to deposit most of the gel, and then I'm gonna pick up a little more and do details. So I'm gonna go closer to the skin, not touching the skin though, it's very important, and not creating a big, a thickness in there, any thickness, and shouldn't be too much gap either, so carefully covering the sides. And it's going to self-level and create a perfect surface for you. Shouldn't do it with my hands, but I always work in gloves, so that's why not a problem if you do it in gloves. If you see that you have a bulk of the gel in here, it doesn't really clump up, but if it's the case, just kind of wipe it and let it self-level in here. And cure for 2 minutes in a UV lamp. Top gel is cured, and wiping off the dispersion layer. Really well. There you go. Nice and perfect coverage. And now I will explain you how we're gonna draw a flower, and I'm gonna draw it on a paper first, and then we'll continue on the nail. Okay, so here's my gold line basically, right? and we're gonna put a flower on it. So the first thing, what I need to do when I do such a design, I'm gonna imagine the center of the future flower, and it's going to be oval, like an ellipse, right? Because we will be looking at this flower from the side rather than from top, and it's going to be almost like sitting on the gold line. Once we kind of set a center for ourselves, we're not drawing it yet. We're just remembering that it has to be there, and then we will start with petals. And the first petal is gonna come from here and finish there, right? So it's almost going that way in a curved. The next petal is gonna go this way, same thing. Then these petals on the sides will be a little longer and thinner. They will go here, like this. And this one actually can be a little puffier. So once we do it with the brush, it's actually easier. So we've done these guys, and then these two that are left are gonna be shortest and kind of thicker, right? A little wider. And this one, again, start from here, go in there, in a curve. So that's how the flower should look like. And then we will add additional details. And because we already have the line that goes somewhat like this, we will be just doing some, swirls in here, swirls in there, basically following the shape that we've created, like that. We don't have to imagine anything, just come up with anything else. There's no need. This one will repeat that, and so on. And for the center, it's going to be easier if I draw it separately. So this is a bigger picture, right? So we will be starting with a darker color, and we will do basically all in juicy cherry, like this. It's gonna be dark, flash cure. And then we will add some highlights on top and some lowlights at the bottom, so it looks three-dimensional. And then we'll add some dots here and there to make sure it looks even more 3D. And I will be showing that with the gel, and it's going to be really easy to understand. Okay, so let's start with the flower first. Okay, let's start with the petals, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the texture white on the tip of the brush. And start with the petal. Where's my picture? There, so you can follow it. So the first one is gonna go like this. Then the second one is gonna go like that, with texture, beautiful petals. The next one here. Another one this way, and I only have space for one more at the bottom. So turning the brush upside down, pressing, going, and releasing. That's what I'm gonna have. So I'm gonna cure this one for 2 minutes, and then I will explain you how to do the petals once again, just separately. And another thing to remember, when you work with the texture white, you should cure the flower or whatever 3D you created for double the time. So 4 minutes in UV, or let's say 2 to 3 minutes in LED, because sometimes when these parts are a little thicker, we cannot control every single textured, line in here. So we want to make sure that they cure properly. So in my case here, I cured it for 2 minutes because I'm still gonna add details and still cure for another 2 minutes. So I don't have to do 4 minutes right now. Okay, let's continue with additional details and the center. So Juicy Cherry will be my gel for the center part of the flower. So it's going to be an oval, remember? And that's what I'm painting right now. An oval center, like this. Now, flash cure. So now remember what we need to do? After we flash cured the center, we need to do lowlights, highlights, and all other beautiful things. So I'm gonna take the same pastel yellow, the pastel buttercup that we used, and I'm gonna go basically tap in here like that, but I'm not gonna cover the bottom part. See? I'm just lightly covering the top part first and flash curing this particular step. I'm gonna go with the texture weight and create some highlights right on top here. Basically, this is just some dots. And texture weight is a perfect gel to use for that because it's got some texture with that. So another thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with the pastel buttercup and create some dots on top and here under my white again, and flash cure this. Now my yellow gold will come in handy for additional details on top of the buttercup color, like this. It's gonna give me the 3D effect. There, see? And flash cure this one too. Flash curing, I'm gonna go carefully. You can skip this step, but if you can control your brush and your gel really well, go again with Juicy Cherry and with tiny dots, just go under the center slightly and just a bit on top to create some depth. And then a little bit of buttercup again, just kind of 2 or 3 dots in here. So this way it's now complete, and I'm gonna flash cure that before doing the rest. Now without wiping anything, because we just flash cured the center, we will be doing the details, and remember that they have to be attached to the flower. This is very important. So I'm gonna start with texture weight, picking up on a small brush, and I'm gonna go in here, remember, following the gold line that I already have. So picking up more, pressing and going in here, and then I can go like that and create a swirl. So we'll be doing a couple of white ones and some gold details as well. The idea here is to press when you have to have a thicker line, and then to release the pressure once you go if you want to have it thin. Then let's go with the yellow gold. And just add a little more. And same thing, we are repeating the shape, the basic shape that we already have there. A little less gel, because I don't want to have it too thick here. And just one more here, and let's see if I need anything else. I think that's more than enough. I do not want to overwhelm the design, and I'm going to flash cure that again, and then we'll put some diamond fiber on top of this center to make it 3D and cure fully. Here's my beautiful diamond fiber, and I'm gonna put a center, raised 3D center for my flower, and I will cure that for 2 minutes to make sure it has high gloss. So just like this. It's an additional step, you do not have to do it, but it's gonna be something more interesting. Okay, and now goes into the UV lamp for 2 minutes or a minute to a minute and a half in your LED lamp. All cured, and wiping off the dispersion layer. Now, this is the flower, this is the nail, and that's the design that we have. What we've got, beautiful sparkles, beautiful ombre, very nice stiletto nail, and a textured flower. This is the end result, and I've completed the whole look by doing the rest of the nails in the same colors, just different combinations. There's ombre with 3 colors, basically yellow, pink, yellow. There is sideway ombre and swirls all over. Well, now you've seen what you can do with the gels from this amazing Bloomin' Magic design kit. So practice, post your work online, and I can't wait to see it.